joining me. I'm on Facebook Live with my good buddy Robert Orfino. Robert, you're in the car. Where are you?
I am, Gary. I'm going to be in the car a lot for the next 9 months. I looked out my whole year, and it looks like I'm traveling almost every other week. This week I'm in Southern California. I'm heading down to Orange County tonight and to support and help my friend Alton Jones out.
Alton's a great guy, a local investor, as you were until very recently. You moved from Southern California to Houston, didn't you? Tell us
I
about that.
sure did. Yes, I did. So I left. I left Southern California to go to Houston because that's where the opportunity and what I wanted to do next. And still based in real estate, but we thought there was a great opportunity to buy some cash flowing properties down there. So we packed up the Trinant Jeep and drove out to Texas.
Great. And that little flood they had a few months ago didn't do anything to hurt the opportunities there, did it?
No, statistically, there was about 250,000 houses affected by the water, and then another 250,000 houses that were just affected economically from the flood.
Right.
Um,
Right.
250,000 houses got flooded, but 40,000 businesses as well. And a lot of those businesses just haven't recovered. And so people have left because the jobs went away.
Okay. Well, sounds like a lot of opportunity for an enterprising investor like you. How does this factor into big game hunting? What is that exactly?
So big game hunting is something we had prior to Harvey. It's a program that we look for markets in. There's always a good market in the country, right? There's
Right.
always a great market and there's always a bad market. And even in 2009, 10, 11, and 12, there were great markets and there were bad markets. We look at the markets in the country that are doing very, very well for a buy and hold scenario.
Okay.
And yeah, we do that's what big game hunting is. We're house hunting. And the big game is this. We want a property that already has anywhere between 10 to 20% equity in it at the time you purchase it. That's going to cash flow $500 a month, right? And then still has an upswing of potential for more equity. So if at the end of 3 years you have a house that's got 33 or 40% equity growth, you're cash flowing $500 a month, I would call that big game when you're
Got-
doing buy and hold.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yep.
So a lot of people when they do buy and hold, they're just looking to make some money every month, but they're not really focused on the equity and the appreciation. You're able to put those both together, huh?
That's the big game. That's the combo, right? We want equity. We want to be in a good neighborhood. We want good cash flow. And I know a lot of folks that go after apartment buildings, but
Right.
sometimes those returns are like $50 a door, $60 a door, $70 a door, and that's why they need 1,200 of them. For my wife and I, we're going to be very, very happy with 15 free and clear single family homes in Houston. That's a really good month for us, and so that's our goal over the next few years is to get 15 to 20 free and clear rentals.
Great, Robert. Now you came out of Southern California, which is not really known for cash flow. How did you get started in real estate?
Like most people, I was broke and in debt, and saw the infomercials and said, "Let me go look at that," because here I am at the bottom of the hole. And I went, and it took me about a year and a half to kind of figure out what was really going on. And once that clicked, I also had a construction business. Once that clicked, then my construction business made a lot of sense. We started working for the hedge funds, and then from the hedge funds with private investors, and then finally to our own investing. And so it's been about 7 years. So it's not wasn't overnight. It wasn't we didn't make $1 million in 30 days. That type of thing.
Right.
But we're here, and what we learned in California, we took to other parts of the country, and then we started buying and holding in New Jersey. We looked at other places, and when that flood happened, it was like Houston is the place, and we believe Houston is the best market right now, probably for the next 3 to 5 years.
That sounds great. That sounds great.
Yep.
So, how does big game hunting actually work from a point of view of an investor coming in to you? What do you say to him? How does he get started, or what would the steps be?
Sure. So we're hunting the deals, and this isn't like a turnkey operation like a Memphis Invest, like the Clothier family.
Right.
Those guys offer houses at you know with zero equity, sometimes negative equity. Sometimes they're selling at 100, 110% over the market because on the other side of it, the service is exceptional. So they can do that when they have exceptional service. Now, we want wealth, right? So over the next 5 years, we also want to build wealth. And if we can buy properties with 10 or 20% equity already in them and watch a 5 to 7% raise each year, well, at the end of 5 years, that puts us at, best case scenario, over 50% equity in the house. And that's wealth, right? And it's not as though we're picking up $300,000, $400,000 houses. We're buying 80 to $150,000 houses. And so our
Everything
program puts it all together. There's a whole bunch of ways to buy it with very little money down. I hate to say that you can buy houses with no money down. I think that's wholesaling for the most part. It's not buy and hold. But there are ways to partner with investors and to figure those problems out. And so we teach a broad spectrum of how to come up with the earnest money and the down payment and how to finance it over 10, 20, 30 years. And our hunting lodge is open, and we've got over half the people. We haven't even been open now for less than a year, but over half the people have already bought properties, right? Already in the process of closing, seeing cash flow. One person already in since November. So what's that? 7 months. He has created $275,000 worth of wealth.
Wow.
Right,
And
that's
what's his
equity
cash
in
flow?
the house. Yep.
Do you know what his cash flow is in that?
His cash flow now is somewhere around $3,500 a month. So he's got it. It's moving. He wants to get to 15, 20. We teach
Sure.
people about a budget and coming up with their number and understanding how it works. So he's being aggressive and he's pushing out, but he's going to be cash flowing very, very well. He's got a lot of flips there. He flips into rentals. So there's a whole bunch of strategies to find that 20% equity, and that's what we teach. And I'll just say the big difference, Gary, is it's it's a 5 year plan. It's not get rich in 60 days. It's not 90 days get your cash flowing properties. It's not in the first year you're going to have $500,000 in equity. Even though some people will do that, ours is it's a 5 year plan. It's measured, it's balanced, it's monitored. We want to have a really good understanding of where you are. You have to be honest with yourself and honest with other people that are helping you and say, hey, I'm going to need some help with my credit score. I'm going to need some help with my savings. I'm going to need some help paying down my debt. Okay, we have solutions to all that. You just have to be committed that this is going to be the last 5 year plan you ever do. And so that's, I think, the big difference between what big game hunting does and a lot of those turnkey guys and a lot of folks that are teaching, apartment buildings and buying and holding and this market, that market. We've identified the number one market. It's a 5 year plan. We work with you on the money, on real problems that people face every day, debt and credit score, and we work through them. It's not just selling the dream. There's actual plan that we implement, and we feel really, really comfortable that we're bringing people along this journey, and they're going to be better for joining the lodge.
And you help them by sharing your contacts as well, don't you, Robert?
Oh yeah, so we have a network of contractors, lenders, private lenders, uh, inspectors, plumbers, electricians, pool people, realtors, brokers, title, escrow lawyers. They have a whole network that they can just tap right into there in Houston, as well as the one we have in New Jersey.
Great. So you did mention lenders, and I know that's a big part of it because creative
Yep.
financing is a big part of what you're doing, right?
It is to a certain degree in that we think it's not hard to find a $25,000 investment from someone and use that as the down payment, and maybe you have to do a little paint and carpet, pull out of there. And since there's such an upswing in equity, you know, if the numbers pan out in 3 to 5 years, you can pay that loan back without any problem, just by refining out of the house,
Great.
doing a cash out refi.
So if you're the employee to use Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad cash flow system, you're the employee and you're making money, you should have no problem qualifying for a loan. You've got some money. If you want to invest your own money, you can definitely do that. Work your way into that investor fund, right?
Yeah. It's
What
not
about
a
people who
problem.
don't have their own money? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I mean, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, all that stuff, it just shows the way to sort of break yourself out and get into that, the top 10% by, owning cash flowing properties. That mailbox money is critical. And that it's a 5-year plan, Gary, means that, the people that are joining us, some of them don't have a lot of money. Some of them don't have good credit, but it allows them to just start the plan now, right? So
Right.
you're going to be able to go in the next six months, raise your credit score, and then all of a sudden you'll be available for some secondary loans. And we can show you ways to make a little extra cash, and we can show you ways to partner up with people. And so if you're willing to, again, be open and honest with yourself first and foremost, be honest with yourself that, hey, I'm not in a good position, but I want to get there. Okay, great. We can help you. And then if you are in a good position, then let's accelerate that as quickly as possible and get out of transactional income and get into that mailbox money we talked about.
Great, great. So this is great for people who have a job and have the money and the credit. It's also great for people who are building that up. You can help them with both.
If you're a W-2 worker, you're in the catbird seat for this.
Right. Excellent. Excellent.
Yep.
So, Robert, what's the best way to get started? Do you have something free that you can give somebody so they can get a taste of what you're talking about here?
So we have a couple events coming up. We do lots of webinars, and I think you're going to send some folks out a link to a webinar. We have that webinar. It's free. You can just go online. You can go watch it right now. We do live webinars where people can do some Q&A, and then we have an event. And I think our next event is in Houston on June 23rd. It's a Saturday. And the Friday before that, we're going to drive around and go look at properties. So we have a bus tour and a one-day education, and it's an introduction to the hunting lodge for folks that are looking to, accelerate, to really go on and working on accelerating your cash flowing opportunities. That's really important for folks that are, in their 50s, and it's just going to be if you have a W-2 job and you're looking at your 401k and you're 50 years old, it's time to make some decisions if you're not happy with that number. And those are most of the folks that we have who come in and like, okay, I just want to get 10. It's like, great, 10 is such a realistic plan. Give it 5 years. You have a W-2 job. Buying 2 a year is not going to be difficult. And we'll show you the best property managers, and we'll work through it with you. And, that's really the person I'm really attracted to amongst all the others is the person with the W-2 income.
Great.
Someone who's got a W-2 job because they can finance it better.
Do they have to live in Houston?
No, that's the beauty of it. We teach you how to do it remotely. We want you to live anywhere you want to live, right? But make your money where it makes where you make the most money. So go to the market where you make the most money, but live anywhere you want to live. And we'll show you how to do it remotely.
That's awesome, Robert. Well,
thank you.
You answered my questions. Anything you want to say to the person that's kind of sitting there watching this video going, I'm not so sure, I don't think so, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, this isn't, I don't have it is a group, it's a lodge that we join, there's a membership. This isn't a sort of, 97, 997, 1497. You've been to all those classes and stuff. That's not what we do. We put a group together that actually wants to go ahead and get themselves set up for financial freedom. And that's really what we keep talking about over and over and over is financial freedom. And that's really, really important is to understand that there is a path to that, and it's not making a $100,000 wholesale deal. Right? It's about having your rental property set up, let them cash flow $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month, and keep your job. Like we so stressed, keep your job. We're not out there telling you when you can quit your job. I mean, keep it, put your nose down for the next 5 to 10 years. At the end of that, you will be in such better shape financially, and you'll have so many more options. So we want folks that are looking at this long term. If you're a get-rich-quick type of guy, we're not your home. You're not going to be welcome in our group. It's about people who understand it's measured. It has to happen in time, and that's what we do.
Awesome. Robert, thank you so much. I love the program. I'm a member of it, and I think it's great. And so I appreciate it. I can put my stamp of approval on it.
Thank you.
And I will be posting this with a way for people to get that free webinar. And you said
Great.
that there are events as well that you can
Yep.
that they can come to. Any kind of discount on those events? What's the deal on that?
So we have the discount right now still going in Houston. So I think it's $79 for the bus tour and $97 for the day. That will go up eventually to $97 for the bus tour and $147 for the day. So the discount pricing is out there, and when they get the link to the webinar, they'll be given the option to sign up for the one day.
Awesome, Robert. Any last words?
Yeah, go get your cash flow properties as quickly as possible.
Awesome. And do it where you're going to make money, which is Houston.
Absolutely. Yep. All right, Gary. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Robert. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.